Hi guys, so here is another Halloween tutorial for you. It is a creepy clown look inspired by Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story Season 4, The Freak Show. I used a white eyeliner to just map out where I wanted the mouth and the little scratches on my forehead to go. Now I'm taking a white Paradise paint, it's a water-based paint, and I'm just coloring in everything that I did not map out for the mouth and these scratches, including my ears. I go down my neck and then down my chest a little bit as well. The paints I'll be using in this video it's only 4 of them. There's 2 water activated paints, this one and another paint that's also a Paradise paint, which is black. And then I used 2 of the Ben Nye cream wheels. One is the red, white, and black wheel. The other one is the bruise wheel. So those of you who are AHS fans know that Twisty the Clown, he just doesn't have that great of makeup skills. I mean, he's a murdering clown. He's out sweating and his makeup's old, so it's very patchy looking. So the perfectionist in me did not want to leave it like this, but for the sake of it looking similar to his, I did. Now I'm taking that same paint and just painting on the teeth. You don't really need to be precise at this point because we'll fill it all in with black, and that's when you can really shape them out, make them smaller, you know, whatever you need to do. So using that black water activated paint, I'm just going in and filling in all the negative space around the teeth to make our mouth. So the Freak Show was my absolute favorite season from all of the seasons of American Horror Story. I absolutely loved it. Twisty I especially loved. I loved his whole story and his character and everything. Yeah. Those of you who have been following me since like way back know I've done several different clowns. This one was my absolute favorite. It turned out amazing. I loved it. It was exactly how I envisioned it. I have been thinking about doing this one for months, but I kept thinking like I need a male model to do this on. I need him to be willing to shape his face. And then last night it just hit me like, just do a female version of Twisty the Clown. And yeah, so this is what I came up with. So I had just realized I did not paint that ear, so that's what I was doing to my ear there. I have many more Halloween tutorials coming up. I've been letting you guys vote for them on Snapchat, so if you don't follow me on Snapchat and you would like to be in on the vote, you can either comment something or add me on Snapchat and you can vote on whatever the different looks are that I bring up on there. I'll leave my Snapchat information in the description bar below so that you can see that as well. So those of you that don't know me personally don't know that costume makeup and special effects was the very first thing that I fell in love with about makeup in general. I've always liked makeup, but as soon as I started trying to learn how to do special effects and costume makeup, I was obsessed, and I have just been like in love ever since. So October is like my month. I love it. I'm finally feeling a little bit better, so I will be busting out a lot more looks. So my vision of this was to not be symmetrical, to be messy and just like different edges and just not smooth out edges and stuff like that. So that was my whole theme. That was what I did through this whole thing. So the brows are not symmetrical, they're crazy looking, and that's just how I wanted it. So now I'm making like a weird like star type shape around my eye. I'm only doing it on the side. And then I'm filling it in with a red cream paint from the red, white, and black color wheel from Ben Nye. Now you do have to set this one. I recommend setting it. You don't have to, but obviously you move your eyes a lot, you know, when you look around, blink, etc. And it just like moves around, creases up, and just does all kinds of nasty things that I don't want it to do. So I just use my RCMA no color powder right here and set it all so that it would not go anywhere. So right now I'm going in with an eyeshadow, a yellow one, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I went into my bruise wheel and got the yellow color. the shadow just wasn't as pigmented as what I had envisioned in my head before starting this. So obviously this yellow, you can see the pigmentation there's a huge difference, and this is exactly what I wanted. After this, I will go in with a brown and just add some dimensions and shading to the teeth, and you will see that in just a minute. If anyone's curious, the music that I am playing in the background is called 1 Hour of Creepy Circus and Carnival Music. It's from Derek and Brandon. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I will put their link to their page down in the description bar below. It's royalty free, so that it's not copyrighted. And yeah, I thought it was very fitting for this tutorial. Okay, so now I'm adding some shading. I'm using the brown color from that same bruise wheel. It's another cream color. I did not set any of these cream colors on my teeth because it just wasn't really, I didn't really need to. And I put the majority of the color at the base of the tooth and drag it down with my finger. On the bottom row, I put the majority on the bottom of the tooth and then drag it up. Now my son kept coming in and needing my help like every 3 minutes, literally. So I did half of it, and then I just ended up doing the other half off camera, and then I started recording once I was done because it was just too difficult to stop and start over and over. So now I'm just making a circle on my nose. It can be as messy or as circular as you want it to be. It's up to you. I used that cream color that I put on my eye. Now I'm using that black water activated paint and just putting it onto the nose and a shadow at the top of it and dragging it down with my finger. And then I'm taking my finger and just messing up and just, well, not really messing up, but just smearing out that paint on my nose. So I also outlined those little wound scratch things with black and then filled them in with red. Now using a really light hand and very little paint on my brush, I'm just making wrinkles. I did them on my forehead, the crow's feet areas, in between my eyebrows, just all over. Now I'm just taking a little bit of black paint on my finger and just smudging it all over my face. I also decided to shade on each side of my nose and just everywhere. I really wanted it to look messy and just gross because, I mean, he's literally just like wandering around killing people, so he's definitely not going to be all that clean. So I used a Kohl liner from Ulta and pretty much lined my entire eyelid, my lower lash line, waterline, and my tight line. Your tight line is your upper lash line, in case you were wondering. Now, the only reason I put mascara on is because I had gotten some white paint on my eyelashes and it made them like super stand out, and I just did not like it. So if that doesn't happen to you, you really don't need to do it. Now I'm taking that black paint and just making some shadow, just kind of shading around underneath, because Twisty wears a mask on his face because his mouth is all screwed up. So I wanted it to kind of be a little bit more mask-like, and instead of just like it literally being just like a drawn on mouth. So I wasn't going to paint clothes originally, but then I decided like the face just looked like way too dope to not paint some kind of like clown outfit. So that is what I did. I just made a line on the neck where the collar would cut off, made some little ruffle shapes, and then stripes down for my shirt. Now I'm shading under what would be the ruffles on the collar, just taking black paint with the brush. I put it pretty heavily and then blended it out because I just figured, you know, it's kind of a big collar. It would cast a pretty big shadow, and I wanted it, what this really does is makes it to where it looks like the ruffled part of the collar is on top of the shirt part of the costume, which is what you want. I mean, that's how it would be if you were to go out and buy a costume. So it's just taking paints and making it give that same effect. Now I did the same thing and blended down from where the collar starts on our neck. And then I'm dragging it down, smearing everything out just to make it look like little wrinkles in the fabric, like where the fabric is laying and just, you know, folds in it, stuff like that. And I blended all of them out with my finger. I didn't leave any of them just harsh on there. Now I'm taking that same yellow that I used on my teeth. Cream paints blend beautifully over water activated paints. So as you can see, it looks really, really good. So I put that all over the collar. I forgot to mention the water activated paints. The difference is that, well, for one, they're activated by water, so you can't just use them dry. I mean, you can try. They're really not pigmented at all unless you add water to them. And they do not need to be set by anything. So they literally just dry and you can touch it, mess with it. It's just going to stay. These cream paints they're just cream. You know, you don't activate them with anything. You just open the thing and use them. And they do need to be set. I did not set any of this because I literally just did it and washed it off. So it was just kind of pointless to set all of it. So after filling in every other stripe red, I'm going in with the white and just adding some highlights to our ruffle collar. I was going to leave these stripes white, but I hated it. So I decided to go in and fill them all in black with the black water activated Paradise paint. Now you can go in and add like some more details to this if you want to. It's up to you, you know, like little wrinkles in the red fabric, highlights to the black and the red. I just left it. I liked it like this, so it's completely up to you. Just use the same technique as you did for the collar. Now this is pretty much it for the look. I took some theater blood, put it into a disposable cup because, you know, for sanitary reasons, you don't want to just dip into the bottle. Took it on a brush and flicked it all over my face so it looked like I was murdering somebody with like an axe or something, hitting them with something, blunt force, you know. Now I took the Blut paste, and you guys have seen me use this so many times on my channel, and I love this stuff. I put it down my teeth so it looks like I literally like bit someone. Yeah, disgusting and exactly what I wanted. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Love you guys. Happy Halloween.